David Quilter. I must say you look very different without your mask.
Well, yes, and that's to be expected, I think.
Would you have imagined 30 years ago that you would now be sitting opposite me around a table talking about Space Precinct for a Gerry Anderson podcast?
Yes, I would. I mean, it's what I've been waiting for 30 years.
Really? It should have happened sooner, you mean?
Yes, why didn't it? I mean, anyway, here we are now.
Well, and thank you very much for joining us. I know you've come a long way today.
A long way.
A long, long way. Talking of coming a long way, it's been a long road since Space Precinct, hasn't it?
Yep.
Can you quite believe it's been 30 years?
No, I can't. I mean, there are elements of it that seem like yesterday, and even this morning.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I remember when you pointed out to me that it was 20 years.
Right.
And that seems like yesterday. I mean, yeah, it's really quite weird. But yeah, 30 years.
If I were to drive you to Pinewood right now and drop you outside L&M studio, do you think you could make your way to your old dressing room and to the makeup room and then onto set?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you'd know where to find your lunch?
Oh, that's a good question.
Do you remember those lunches?
Oh, we went to the pub.
We did in time go to the pub, yes. Yeah. By the end of the series, we managed to convince our makeup people to let us out.
Where did we have lunch otherwise?
Do you remember we used to get it delivered to the kind of little atrium area by the stairs where they had those brown leather sofas, and they'd leave our lunch there under tinfoil.
Oh yes, I do remember that.
Like stew and sticky toffee pudding and
was
fish
like
and
school dinners.
And it was always semi-cold by the time we got to it, I remember.
Yeah.
Because, of course, we had to get out of the whole...
That's why we went to the pub.
Yeah, not quite. Yeah, exactly. Now, we are going to talk about Space Precinct, of course, in the main, because it's a Gerry Anderson show. Do you not remember that?
Oh!
A much fondly remembered series.
Of course.
By about 2 or 3 people. But we're also going to talk a little bit about some of your other credits as well, because you have had, I think it's fair to say, a long and illustrious career so far.
Long.
What's quite strange for me is that Space Precinct really was at the very beginning of my career. And it was sort of...
In the middle.
Yeah, the halfway point so far for you.
Yep.
So do you think that means that our experiences of it were very different?
I don't know. I don't know what you'd done before.
Very little.
But some.
Yeah, a day here, a day there, and a bit of theatre.
Yeah, well, that's what jobs are like.
Yeah.
Mostly. I mean, you know, and it became that much more like that, you know, you'd work for a day here and a day there.
Yeah.
Whereas when I started in TV, even if you were doing a small part, you would be there every day in the rehearsal room, and you would shoot it over 2 or 3 days, multi-camera. I mean, that changed totally.
Yeah, that's right.
Mainly because of the Americans, because that's they shot things not just single camera, but on film.
Yeah.
And we didn't do that, didn't quite go that far.
Yeah.
But we did certainly switch to, because it was just cheaper.
So what's changed now is that you come onto set for your first or your only day's work. You wouldn't have had any rehearsal.
No.
Essentially, the only rehearsal is for the camera.
You get a line run.
Yeah.
And you'd be told where to stand. And,
The director might give you a note.
And then thank you very much, goodbye.
That's it.
Yeah.
We didn't have much rehearsal on Space Precinct, did we? I don't remember, for each episode.
No, just the usual filming setup. I mean, you know, you'd go, you'd be positioned, you'd go through the lines, and you'd, and it was for the camera.
Yeah.
And so the director knew roughly what you were going to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, now, we do play a game with each of our podcast guests. This is called Super Identification. Now, if you look at the screen in a moment, we're going to show you very, very quick clips of the opening titles of every one of Gerry Anderson's TV series from 1957 or something to 2004. I think there are 18 of them. And I want you to see which ones you can recognise. Shout out when you see something you know. You ready?
Well, I'm going to probably be guessing.
Fine.
Okay.
Let's guess. Number 1.
Tintin.
Number 2. Come on, you've got to be quicker. No, some people do remember that one, Four Feather Falls.
Thunderbirds.
Supercar. That was 5 on XL5, followed by
Thunderbirds.
Stingray. And now it's...
Stingray. Space 1999.
No, that didn't even have puppets in it, David.
Yes.
You won't remember that one.
Yeah, but I remember standing on it when I met him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Secret Service. That was
Hilarious.
called. Don't say Thunderbirds.
No.
Well, you have mentioned this one already.
Space 1999.
Yes, I'll give you that
An
one.
emergency.
No, Terrorhawks. You might know this one.
Space Precinct.
Place of legend, fabled right across the
No, Lavender Castle. And the last one here. That's the CGI version of Captain Scarlet. David. I mean, you haven't done as badly as some.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, not at all. You got 2.
Out of 10?
Out of 18.
Oh,
And one of those you were in. There you go, look.
I got that one right there.
There's your little Thunderbirds
Oh, gosh.
doll. There's you with number 2 on. And that will make its way around the front of the table there on our league table. We'll see how you do alongside the others.
okay.
But yes, Maria Teresa Creasy got 3. So, you're in good company down there. But we can infer from that, David, that you were not a great Gerry Anderson fan when you got Space Precinct.
Well, the thing was, I think when Gerry Anderson started, which I think was probably 60s,
Yeah, late 50s.
I was already
60s.
a grown-up.
Exactly, that's right.
So I was not only a voraciously ambitious young actor,
That turned out well.
and hopefully busy, if not busy working, busy getting work.
Yeah.
I didn't watch children's TV.
Yeah, why would you?
Why would I?
Yeah. But what do you remember as a child then? What did you watch as a kid? Did you go to the cinema often?
I was
or was there
obsessed
TV?
with cowboy things.
Yes,
so
right.
I watched the Cisco Kid,
Right.
Hopalong Cassidy.
There's probably a podcast for all of these as well that you're going to have to appear on now.
Right.
Right.
And I did watch children's TV then. There was a sort of magazine program called Whirligig,
Right.
in
Yeah.
which appeared Muffin the Mule,
Right, yes. I know Muffin, yes.
and it was presented by a chap called Humphrey Lestock.
Right.
But and this was, there was one channel.
Yeah.
We had a tiny little pie television set with a screen like that in a cabinet like that.
Yeah.
And the picture would
Yeah.
be going like this, and you'd be twiddling with knobs and trying to make it stop.
Yeah.
This was 1950,
Yeah.
so yeah, just so different.
And so where did you grow up and what was your parents' background and so on? Is it unusual that you decided to become an actor or was that in the blood?
Well, no, it certainly wasn't in the... Well, it wasn't in the blood, no. Funnily enough, 2 of my mother's sisters ran away from home and joined Southwold Rep
Right.
for a summer season.
Right.
Quite wired. And how they got away with it, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know this until after I'd started. No, it came from a couple of things, really. Firstly, there was a boy at my school, and it was announced that he'd got a scholarship to RADA.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know what they were talking about,
Yeah.
but I found out, and I thought, wow, so you can actually be an actor as a job.
Yeah.
So that was my first inkling. And then my mother took me to Hornchurch Rep, Queen's Theatre Hornchurch. Not the nice new sprucey one now, the old one.
Yeah.
And we went 2 weeks in a row. The first week we saw a Agatha Christie play. It was then an unmentionable title.
Right. Okay.
10 Little.
Yeah.
I think it's called.
And then there were none, I think, now.
Yes, I think it is.
That's right.
But it went through several titles
It did.
until it got sort of politically correct.
Yeah.
And in it was a young actress called Gwen Watford, who became a big star, playing a maid. And the next week, we saw another play called Death of a Rat, about some experimental lab or something.
Right.
And she was playing the lead.
Right.
And there she was. And I thought, wow.
A completely different performance.
Completely different performance. And I mean, she was suddenly a star. Anyway, I bumped into her at the television centre years later, and I said, "You are responsible for this." And she was appalled. But no, she was absolutely lovely. But that was kind of what did it.
Yeah. And what were your family particularly supportive, or your school, were they supportive in your ambitions? Or
My school never knew.
Right, okay.
And they still don't, so shut up.
I won't say a word. Your secret's safe.
But no, my parents were, funnily enough. I mean, I was struggling with certain subjects. Maths.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I won't tell you how many times I failed maths O-level.
Right.
4.
Right.
But shut up.
Wow. So you had to retake it again and again.
And I was on a sort of foundation architectural course.
Oh, yeah.
Well, without maths, forget it.
Yeah.
And anyway, my father sat me down and said, "Look, if you're not going to pursue this, is there something you do want to do?" And I blurted out, "I want to act."
Ah.
Thinking he would say,
Yeah.
"Never darken my doorstep again."
Yeah.
But no, he said, "Well, okay, continue with your studies. And in the meantime, join an amateur group and see, A, if you like it, and B, if you're any good."
Yeah.
So I did that, and I did like it. I wasn't any good, but I knew that I knew.
Yeah.
I just knew.
Yeah.
And then I started audition. Then a bunch of us from that society started another society, a Shakespeare group, and we did Taming of the Shrew, in which I played Biondello. And the director of that was the county drama advisor.
Right.
And so we invited him over, and he advised me on what to do, how to go about getting into drama school. So I applied for various drama schools and got into Webber Douglas. Sadly, no longer existent.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Tragic, really, because it was great. And I remember the first day walking in there, and I just suddenly felt completely at home.
Well.
And it was just my world. And I didn't really know why, but it just felt right.
And was that feeling ever shaken or tested at all, or
No.
have you always felt like that? No matter the ups and downs of an actor's life, but have you always felt that certainty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never wanted to do anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still don't, really.
Yeah. Now, it may not surprise people to know then, due to your sort of lack of Gerry Anderson knowledge, you told me about your first Anderson memory, and, well, let's have a look and we'll talk about it afterwards.
Captain, check out the latest report from Interplanetary. Could be linked to Nissim's murder.
Now, this is from the first episode of Space
Gemini
Precinct.
gang are making a run
I
on
think
the
this
black
might have been your
crystal
first
trade.
day's work. I'm not entirely sure.
There's dead crystal dealers from here to Earth. They're wiping out the competition on a dozen planets.
Including Altor, it seems. Nissim had this in his hand when he dropped in on us.
Black crystal. At least 2 ounces worth.
I'd say it was closer to 3. And supposedly, a single gram will extend a human's life 3 years.
Huh. Or a Creon's 20. And an entire species extinct in order to get it. You could buy half of Demeter with that rock.
Then why didn't the killer take it?
Because he didn't care about crystal. He was after Nissim. A real pro.
Nah, not that professional. He left a witness.
There we are.
Wow.
Double duty. First episode of Space Precinct is effectively your first Anderson memory. because it was certainly your first experience of the Gerry Anderson universe, having not watched any of it as a young man.
Yep. I was aware of it.
Yeah.
I was aware of Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
I never watched it because
Yeah.
it wasn't for me, really.
No, that's
but,
right.
Yeah.
What were your initial feelings about Space Precinct, and what were your hopes? And do you remember the prevailing feeling on set in those early days about how the show might develop and where it might go?
No. But, well, no, I say no because no, I didn't. Because I was thrust into it and it would just take its course. You'd get the script and you'd read it and you'd learn it, and it was like any other job from that point of view.
Yeah.
But then, there were the peripherals, like the heads and all that stuff. The first thing you do when you got in the morning was get a chin stuck on.
Yes, that's right.
And so it was. Those were the differences. But then there are differences with every job. So, I think most actors are pretty open-minded and pretty accepting of whatever is thrown at them.
Well, it's a gig, isn't it?
It's a gig, and partly you do what you're told, and partly you decide what you will do.
Yeah.
And so in that way, it was, to me, it was an acting job. And
Yeah.
yeah.
From my point of view, I remember, because it was over a year, of course, and over 20 episodes, although the characters were pretty set, they didn't go on any great spiritual or emotional journeys.
Well, that was part of the problem.
Yeah.
From what I know, I don't know the politics of the thing, but I believe it was sort of rushed into production before it was really ready.
Yeah.
And had it been kind of, had there been a Bible, so to speak,
Yeah.
it might have gone on for a lot longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it had a lot of potential, which wasn't realised.
But it wasn't long before we were meeting Fredo's family. I don't know if you remember an episode.
Oh, yeah.
And your young daughter having a birthday. Kieran Shah played.
Yes.
Who I'm hoping to speak to on the podcast here
Right.
in a couple of months. So I think there were efforts to try and broaden these characters as the show went on.
I agree in a way, but I don't think it was really explored.
Yeah.
It was an episode in which you saw a bit of Fredo's family.
Yeah.
But then it went nowhere else after that.
They sort of had to press the reset button, didn't they, at the end of every episode, so that if you kind of dropped in on the next one and you hadn't seen any before...
It would have been great if there had been a thread going through not just, Haldane's and Brogan's lives, but the more minor characters as well. You might have... I don't think the audience had a chance to kind of identify or really get to know the people, and so there was not much room for real empathy.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
And, as you mentioned, Space Precinct came along when you were sort of well into your career, by a couple of decades, I should imagine.
Yep.
Lots of credits behind you already. So let's take a look at one that I managed to dig out. This is from, 1960s. It's an episode from The Avengers.
Probably was 60s, yeah.
Let's have a look at this.
That is not me.
It's got your posture.
It could have been. Well, there I am. Oh my God, smoking.
Yeah, you see, different times.
Come in.
Wilson?
Sir?
Anything happened your end?
Not a sign, sir.
It's gone 12.
I know, sir.
Can't make it out. Our information clearly stated that one of their men had a rendezvous in this area at 12.
So this is quite
Yes,
early
sir.
days in your career,
Going
isn't
to
it?
pass on something vital, that's what we heard. Are you sure you've seen no one?
Only an old lady on a bicycle, sir.
What?
Went by a few moments ago, sir.
You fool! Get after her, man! Get after her!
Yes, sir.
Do you you remember shooting any of this?
Yeah.
Aha. Where was this? Where was the location? Do you remember?
No.
But some money's been spent on it.
That's the first thing anybody says when they see a helicopter. There's money on it.
There you go.
They didn't ask me if I could ride a motorcycle.
You'd think that would have been top of the list. But, you know, look at this, man. That's not you, surely.
Yeah, I did that.
How much of this is that isn't you? It's a great sequence, though, isn't it?
That was me.
That was it, wasn't it?
Wow, I couldn't do that now. How could I have missed that?
Terrible shot. You always were.
I think that was directed by Phil Dudley,
Ah,
who I worked with on Softly Softly.
right.
Oh, that's not right.
John
Hough.
Hough.
Oh, John Hough.
There you go. There we are. Super Secret Cipher Snatch, I think, was the name of that episode of The Avengers.
Super Secret Cipher Snatch.
That's it.
Yes.
Easy for you to say. Not the last time you would hold a weapon in your hand, of course, and fire it in anger, because it's
No.
Space Precinct, where you had a lot of gun action, didn't we?
I had none.
Ah,
None.
because you were stuck behind the desk.
I was shot as Calamandro,
Right.
but I never wielded a weapon of my own.
So does that mean you had one of those little squibs placed under your costume? Do you
Yeah.
remember those?
Yep.
Extraordinary. Terrifying the first time you do it, isn't it? Because you're never quite sure how it's going to go.
Yeah.
So what were your hopes and dreams as a young actor? Where would you like to have seen yourself, or were you just intent to keep working wherever that came from?
I think when I was at drama school, I saw myself doing Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And I never did.
Ah, yeah.
I wish I had.
Yeah.
I still wish I would.
Yeah.
But no, that's what I kind of fantasized about. But then when you're thrown out into the wide open world, you just want to work. And
Indeed.
my first job was acting ASM in Weekly Rep.
Right.
So we did 8 shows in 9 weeks.
Extraordinary.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean,
8 different parts, 8 different plays.
yep. And doing stage management as well.
And
So-
you would be what they call players cast, I guess. Where
Oh,
you,
yeah.
You could be playing an old man one week, a butler, and then you play the romantic lead
I've
the
got
next week.
photographs of myself with grey hair and a very young face. And
Yes.
Absolutely ridiculous. But I loved it. I mean,
Yeah.
it was work.
Yeah.
And I was getting £7, 10 shillings a week.
Not to be sniffed at. Yeah, great. Now, we have here, you may have noticed, a Space 1999 lunchbox containing questions from our viewers and listeners.
Lovely.
So I wonder, David, if you would just reach into here and let's take, say, 4 out of there. 4 questions for you to answer for this week, and then we'll do 4 more later.
Okay.
How's that? Okay. And off you go.
Rich Goodborn.
Aha.
Hello.
Oh.
What did you think of the quality of voice dubbing for Space Precinct? Is it more off-putting when you can remember the actor's real voice? Well, there's a story.
Yeah.
I thought the quality of voice dubbing, I think, was pretty good. As to can I remember the actor's real voice? Well, I dubbed myself. And I think, if I'm right, Lou Hirsch and I were the only ones who did, at the beginning anyway, certainly.
Yeah.
I think more actors started doing their own voices later on. But yeah, on the first day, we were rehearsing in English accents, and we were told that American accents would be required. And so I asked my agent to ask if we could be auditioned. And we were, and I got the gig.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I never did. I never got the gig. I think I was the only regular actor by the end of the series not to use my own voice, because Mary Woodfine did.
Did she?
Yeah, about halfway through.
Oh, Jerome did.
Jerome did.
Yeah, he did Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An Irish alien. Another question.
Lauren J. Gradwell. Hi, Lauren. I grew up during the 90s. All right.
Don't rub it in, Lauren.
As a Gerry Anderson fan and watched Space Precinct after school. A fellow fan told me that you have a link to another great interest of mine, the Titanic. Yes, I do.
Uh-huh.
Did you know your grandfather well? And did he have any influence on your life and the decisions you made during your career? Well, I did know him very well. I was born in his house. And
Was he in at the time?
yes. And we lived with him for the first 6 years of my life.
Oh.
And he put me through school. He never once mentioned the Titanic. I think he suffered from survivor's guilt. The first I knew of it was in, I think, 1952, when my mother accompanied him to the premiere of A Night to Remember, which was the Kenneth More film. He played Lightoller. And even then, I wasn't really aware of what it was all about. I didn't really know what the Titanic was. But gradually I did get to know, and my grandfather wrote a book, which I'm fortunate to have a first edition of. And so in a way, I got to know him even better through that than, I mean, he died when I was about 22 or 3, I think. At the age, I think he was 90-ish. But yes, I felt close to him, yeah.
Amazing to have that link with such a huge historical
I
moment.
know, and
Incredible.
it's almost bigger now than.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean, it
right.
was obviously massive at the time,
Yeah.
but then it went through a long sort of period, but no, it's extraordinary. It's extraordinary.
Another couple of questions, David?
Right. Rob Slater. Hi, Rob. If there had been season 2, where would you have liked Fredo to have gone?
I can't answer that one.
That's a tricky question, actually.
Because there was
quite an
talk
interesting one.
of a season 2, wasn't there? There was
Oh,
certainly...
there was a big talk of
Yeah.
season 2, not to mention 3 and 4.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I would like all the characters to have been explored more, as we've said already.
Yeah.
I mean, I think any dramatic series has potential for exploration and development, and it never happened, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know where I would have liked Fredo to have gone. I think I probably would have liked him to have succeeded Podley.
Right. Captain Fredo, you think?
Captain Fredo.
It's got a ring to it, isn't it? And a last question there, I think you've got, David.
Yep. Steve Bushell. Hi, Steve. You have a great resume of some classic TV.
You do.
I didn't know about that.
That's true. I've seen it.
How did it feel to wear the prosthetics? Did it help to get you into your character, or did you feel too restricted? Well, good question, actually. Wearing the prosthetics was not a problem at all. Obviously, any actor, your face is part of your toolkit. So it presents difficulties, but then a lot of theatre has been done with masks, and there is such a thing as mask work. So you express in a different way. I suppose, more physically. Although I'm not sure if we did that really. We moved about like human beings, and to all intents and purposes, we were human beings with masks.
Yeah.
Did it help to get into character? No, it didn't, because these weren't just masks; they were full heads that you were put into, and it was zipped up the back, and the eyes were somewhere up here, and you looked through the sort of bags under your eyes, and very restricted views. It was restricting, but the actual acting part of it, I think, was the same as any other job. In as much as you learnt your lines, you
Tried not to bump into the furniture.
you bumped into the furniture and the set and anything else that was happened to be around, and your other characters, and but it was it was a job, and you made the best of it, I guess.
From my point of view, what I seem to remember is, quite apart from all the usual actorly things that you have to think about in terms of character and so on, and your emotional journey or whatever it might be, was just the simple technical things in a mask of having to find your light, hit your mark on the floor. Do you remember they used to put those, what they call sausages, those little bean bags on the floor so you
Yes.
could feel with your foot
Yeah.
when you were in the right position because you couldn't see.
No.
I mean, walking downstairs was always terrifying because, of course, your vision was out there. And the only way to see where your feet were was to go like that. And of course, you couldn't do that in the mask, so you literally had to feel your way down a flight of stairs.
I'd
Terrifying.
forgotten about those details, but
Yes.
now you remind me. They fill me with horror.
Yeah, that's right. And the constant noise of the motors in your...
Oh, that's right, yes.
So you had little time to think about character. It was all about, am I in the right place? Am I facing in the right direction? Where do I go next?
You say that, but actually all I was thinking about was character.
Right. Well, let's put that to the test, and let's look at another early clip from your career, David.
Oh, yes.
One that I think brings you quite a bit of attention among sci-fi fans because it's from Blake 7. Let's have a look at this.
Our duty target's nice and steady now, sir. Doesn't move for an hour.
And presumably Eigen's got back to base.
You're having to do that very tricky thing here of delivering your lines whilst playing chess. And then pressing buttons.
All launchers mobile, sir.
Ready launches 3 and 17.
Oh, he's a lovely guy.
Yeah?
Neem. Christopher Neem?
Right. Uh-huh.
3 and 17 locked on.
Primary relay open.
Safety lock clear.
The costumes are a little over the top, aren't they, don't you think?
Countdown. 4, 3, 2.
Well, his was a lot more glamorous than mine.
There we go. An episode called Traitor, I think, from Blake 7 in the 70s. I mean, it's odd, isn't it, that you I wouldn't say you've done so much sci-fi because, of course, you've got a long and broad career, but it seems to be punctuated by The Avengers, which I suppose is science fantasy, and then Blake 7 and Doctor Who and Space Precinct. I mean,
I never saw them as sci-fi.
Ah, yeah.
I saw them as jobs.
Yes.
That was directed by a guy called David Sullivan Proudfoot, who I'd worked with on Softly Softly.
Right.
Very nice guy.
Yeah.
And he offered me the job.
Yeah.
And so I went and did the job. And you don't really think, oh, this is sci-fi, so it's different.
Sure. True.
Because basically, acting is acting, I think.
Yeah. That's right.
So, you don't think you've got to behave differently or...
Mm-hmm.
And I think that character was a human being.
Yes. To all intents and purposes, yes.
Probably not fully rounded, but...
Blake 7 wasn't known for it, I don't think. Yeah. Now, from Space Precinct, celebrating 30 years this year. But you rather, is it fair to say, stumbled into the part? Or rather, it landed rather gently into your lap, didn't it?
Rather fortuitously.
Yes. Tell us about that.
Well, yes. I went to a friend's birthday party, an actress, writer, director, general smarty pants. And at this party was a casting director who I knew quite well called Corinne Rodriguez. And I asked her what she was up to. She asked me what I was up to, and I said nothing. I said, what are you doing? She said, I'm doing this thing called Space Police.
Yes, as it was. That's
it
right,
was.
yes.
And I said something like, oh, well, what's my part like? And she said, no, David, I don't think it's up your street, but if you want a day in a mask at Pinewood, I'll see what I can do. I said, sure, I'm up for that. And thought no more of it until the next day when my agent rang and said, you've just been offered something called Space Police.
Right.
I said, oh, a day in a mask at Pinewood. And my agent said, no, it's 40 weeks over a year.
I bet you couldn't believe your luck.
I couldn't.
No.
I said,
How many times has that happened?
Well, it was like,
Yeah.
I mean, actors very seldom can look ahead that far.
Absolutely.
And so it was just wonderful.
Yeah.
And the next day I went to Pinewood and had my full head cast by Neil Gorton.
Yeah.
And that was it. And then I think we started very quickly after that.
You had no sort of audition then, or
No.
reading? Or
I mean, Corinne Rodriguez knew me.
Yeah.
The director of the first episode, Colin Buxey, knew me. I'd worked with him 2 or 3 times.
Right.
And that was it, yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of vouched for me, I
Yeah.
suppose. And I guess they were desperate.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't put it quite like that.
No, I think they were.
But they were.
So, yeah, I was
Because
only too happy.
Ken Drury, who was slated to play Fredo originally...
I still owe him a bottle of champagne. I think.
You do. I remember I was there on the day he tried on his mask and got to the top of the stairs outside the dressing rooms and couldn't take a step further, decided that he couldn't work in this stuff. And there and then, he was off the production. And we were all ready to go, so I'm guessing it was probably at a very late stage when they cast you. Maybe within days of actually shooting, I would think.
Oh, yeah, well, as I say, the next day I
Yeah.
was having my head cast, and I think only a couple of days later
You were on set.
we were sitting around a table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you must have met Gerry at some point during this process.
I met Gerry on that first day.
Right.
I was summoned to his office adjacent to the studio. And I don't know what he would have done if he'd looked at me and thought, no.
Yeah.
But they were desperate. And he okayed me.
Yeah. I mean, and in a way, I suppose they had the safety valve of the fact that you're in a mask.
Yeah.
And you might be dubbed. So...
Well, quite.
I often wonder why I was given the role, because...
Well, I mean, I don't think any of us knew we were going to be dubbed at the time.
No, true enough. True.
Had we thought about it, we would have known that our voices were so muffled that we would have had to dub them, or somebody, they would have had to be revoiced in some way.
Yeah.
So,
right. Yeah.
But I think we probably thought that the sound quality was okay. I don't know.
What were we to know?
Yeah.
We spoke last time about the paucity of your Gerry Anderson knowledge, which prompted you to choose, I think you're perhaps the first person to do this, for their favourite Anderson character. Well, you chose one of yours.
Yes.
Let's have a look at this.
Why are we questioning the authority of the Ikar Vedra?
The poor man is senile.
How dare you?
Because someone must. The Ikar is old. So old he cannot even recognize the omens that were foretold.
Were they omens, Brother Calamandro, or something else?
A false prophet set aflame by his own evil? A corpse who confesses his sins from the other side? A child could recognize such signs.
And I say that the Ikar Vedra is our appointed leader. It is he, and he alone, who has the power to recognize the omens.
Sister Nevik, what do you say?
I don't know. I admit I'm torn. I love and respect the Icar Vedra, but even I can't ignore the signs. Perhaps the day of immolation is near.
We've all seen the signs. Only the Icar is blind.
And who would you have replace him? You, brother?
Remember that?
No.
Calamandro, The Fire Within.
Yes. I remember doing it.
Yeah.
I don't remember much about it.
Yeah. Because the beauty of playing those masked characters was that we were able to play other parts as well.
Yep.
Which was quite fun for other directors. So that was John Glenn, of course.
Yeah.
Who I think you told me earlier you had auditioned for previously before Space Precinct. Is that right?
I did do a reading for a small part in a James Bond film. It was a character, I can't remember the name of the actor who eventually played it, but he was sliced in half by a glass sliding door.
Oh. Right.
I mean, I would have loved that.
Yes.
But I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Lisa Orgolini, Alexa Rosewood, and Rob Thurtle, I think you were sharing the screen with there.
I'd never have known.
Looking at those masks now, how effective do you think they were?
I think they were pretty good. I think now they would be more animated.
Yeah.
I think they could be a lot more expressive.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, it was pretty basic in as much as it was almost like a ventriloquist dummy, the eyes and the mouth.
Yeah.
And I think even maybe spitting images were more expressive in a way.
Yes. Yeah.
But maybe that was more to do with the comedy. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if it was done now, it would be very, very different.
Wouldn't it? I suspect they would have a little bit of CGI to help out the expressions and so on. Yeah, yeah.
Probably all CGI.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Now, we spoke last time about how, amazingly, your career seems to have encompassed quite a few science fiction and science fantasy properties, from the Avengers to Blake Seven. More recently, you took a trip in the TARDIS to have a starring role in Doctor Who with David Tennant.
Yes, although it wasn't like a Doctor Who at all.
No, it wasn't. No,
it was like a repertory theatre production of an Agatha Christie play.
Well, let's have a look, and we'll have a chat about it afterwards.
You won't find anything in.
How come it's locked?
Lady Edison commands it to be so.
And I command it to be otherwise. Scotland Yard. Pip pip. Why is it locked in the first place?
Many years ago, when my father was butler to the family, Lady Edison returned from India with malaria. She locked herself in this room for 6 months until she recovered. Since then, the room has remained undisturbed. Oh dear. There's nothing in here. Hardly acting at all.
How long has it been empty?
40 years.
Why would she seal it off? All right, I need to investigate. You just bottle off.
The Unicorn and the Wasp.
She was lovely, Catherine Tate.
Catherine Tate.
Really
yeah.
lovely.
You described it as being part of a repertory company doing an Agatha Christie.
Well, it was like going back in time as far as doing TV was concerned, because we were all there all the time.
Ah.
I mean,
which is very unusual, yes.
Very unusual.
You were all on location, were you? Was it all shot on location? Or?
Yeah, just outside Cardiff, somewhere, at this Elizabethan manor.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
Even in the interiors were on location?
Yeah.
Right.
Except for that scene, actually, which was in the studio.
Yeah.
It was all on location.
And there are some lovely scenes with you out on the lawn.
Yes.
Taking tea. It looks like the most beautiful summer's day.
Yeah. And there was another sort of footman type character who was played by David Tennant's dad.
Right.
who was a high-up legal thing in Scotland.
Right.
He was something like, a procurator fiscal or something, one of those kind of things.
Yeah.
Wasn't that, but no, he was a minister in the church.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I had a long chat with him. He was a lovely guy.
Right.
No, it was a really nice thing to be involved in, actually.
And was there something of a thrill to be in Doctor Who? Many actors, if they were given a role like that for an episode, would think, I'm going to be in Doctor Who, that's fantastic. But for you, it was just another credit on the CV.
Well, it wasn't. No, it was I think whenever you get a job, you commit yourself to that job, and that's your life for the duration. I mean, not just the duration of the shoot, but from the time you get the script, from the time you get the offer, right the way through until your last day.
Yeah.
And that is your life.
Yes.
But apart from that, it's a job.
Yeah.
I didn't. No, I mean, the only 2 episodes of Doctor Who I've ever seen was that one.
Right.
And the very, very first episode in 1963.
Brilliant.
And even then, at 63...
It wasn't for you, was it?
It was my first year of working.
Yeah.
And it was on children's TV.
Yeah.
I think it was on at 5:30 in the afternoon or something like that.
That's it,
and I thought, well, okay. I was we'd gone to visit my sister for her half term with my parents. So we were sitting in this hotel in Southwold, and we decided to watch this thing because it was new and it was being highly promoted.
Yeah.
And we all thought, yeah.
Well, here we are, 60-odd years later.
I thought, no, that's not for me.
Yeah, that'll never last, you thought?
I remember going onto the set in TV Centre when a friend of mine was in an episode, and I was doing something else.
Yeah.
I might have been doing Softly or something.
Yeah.
And seeing, William Hartnell and so on, and thinking, I'd quite like to do an episode of this, but I never did.
It only took you 40 years. We've got a few more questions in here for you, David, in the Space 1999 lunchbox. So if you'd like to dig deep and pull out all those final questions, great.
Brandon Gant.
Uh-huh.
That's a good name.
Isn't it?
Sir Brandon Gant.
It's got a ring to it.
Hi, Brandon. Your career has seen you take on roles in some iconic sci-fi series, including Blake 7, Doctor Who, and Space Precinct. Could you share your experiences working on these different productions? Specifically, how did the low-budget nature, of a 1970s BBC production like Blake 7 compare to a 1990s sci-fi series like Space Precinct?
Yeah.
And the more recent internationally renowned iteration of Doctor Who? Well, yeah, I mean, you're right. Going onto the set of Blake 7, it was pretty rickety sets, and I mean, the one that always springs to mind is Crossroads, because there was almost a joke that the sets had to rattle.
Yeah.
And it was a bit like that. But
Space Precinct, of course, famously was purported to be the most expensive series ever made at the time.
I can quite believe
at $1 million an episode.
Well, the sets certainly didn't rattle because it was. I mean, it was built of metal, and it was a really permanent, pretty solid structure.
Yeah.
So, in a way, in Space Precinct, the money was up on the screen.
Yeah.
In the 70s BBC, the money was
to the talent.
I wish. No, the money, it was spread around over many.
And there wasn't so much of it, of course.
Yeah, quite.
Yeah.
And Doctor Who, well, I mean, Doctor Who is in 2 separate things. There was a big gap.
Yeah.
The first I suppose probably all black and white, were they? I don't know.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but the first few were, yes, for the first 6 years, 7 years.
Yeah,
and then colour in the 70s.
I mean, Patrick Troughton was probably black and white.
That's right.
Yeah. And he was my favourite.
Mm-hmm.
Partly because I knew him a bit. And
did you?
Yeah. He was a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, they were different, and they all had their place, I suppose.
Certainly. Another question?
Paul Hyder.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Paul. Which of the many TV shows you've appeared in do you remember as being the most fun, and why?
Oof.
A lot of actors, when they are in the middle of a production, complain. They do, don't they?
They do, that's true.
I never do.
Yeah.
And I never have, because we are so privileged to be allowed to work in this business. And it's always, there is fun to be had. When you're in front of the camera, it's deadly serious. Even if it's comedy, it's serious. But which has been the most, well, let's say not the most fun, but the most enjoyable? I mean, lots of things for different reasons. I mean, I suppose the most enjoyable things for me were not even TV shows, but theatre. Partly because you're engaging with an audience, partly because the director can't do anything about it. You're in control, and partly because you get the run. You go through the whole show in one go, and that's lovely. As far as TV is concerned, different things for different reasons. One of the big things has been locations. I've been incredibly lucky with locations.
Internationally?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Egypt, India.
Wow, that's right.
Pakistan.
Yeah.
Sri Lanka, Zimbabwe, South Africa.
Incredible.
I mean, fantastic. Fantastic. And one of the most enjoyable was Havana.
Right.
It wasn't a TV show. It was a commercial.
Ah, yes.
And I went to Havana and shot a commercial in which I was playing Blofeld.
Yeah. Wow.
On a beautiful beach. And it was a commercial for the Irish National Lottery.
Okay.
Because the advertising agency wanted a nice little jolly.
Yes.
And
yes,
it was just wonderful.
Lovely. I think about Space Precinct, being an enjoyable job was because it's very rare, as you said earlier, for an actor to be on something for that long.
Yeah.
And of course, that gives you an opportunity to really start to know each other really rather well.
Yep.
You're spending quite a bit of time with each other in each other's company through adversity as well, which is very often a good bonding experience, isn't it? That's my abiding memory of Space Precinct, is the fact that we had a year in each other's company.
Well, I think always the people you're working with are the memories, and they're the most important thing. And fortunately, it's been quite rare that's been a less than pleasant experience. Mostly, actors get on.
Yeah.
Mostly, actors are generously spirited.
Yeah.
Good sense of humour, open-minded, and
then there's Lou Hirsch.
And jolly good fun.
Yeah.
And then there's people like you. My God. But then no,
you take the rough with the smooth.
Space Precinct was a really nice company. And we did get on really well, and we had a lot of fun together.
Yeah.
We did. I mean, we did extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
Which is a good sign.
Yes, that's right. Oh, certainly.
Yeah, fantastic.
Out for drinks, out for lunch, out for parties.
Yeah.
Go-karting.
Go-karting.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's fun. Well, thank you so much for joining us, David, for the Gerry Anderson podcast. And may I wish you a happy 30th anniversary.
Thank you very much.
See you soon.
Thank you.